Welcome to the Ref Room, hockey talk for referees, coaches, players, and fans.
Broadcasting live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch.
With your hosts, Smokin, Silz, and Brad Baumruck.
Live.
The Ref Room starts right now.
And now your host.
Oh, yes, it is Monday night. Welcome to the Ref Room, everybody. I am Smokin Silz, joined by my man, Brad Baumruck. That's a nice intro for you. Brad Baumruck. There you go. I like it. We finally got a nickname for you.
Do you know what day it is? I just want to check.
I think it's Monday. I'm losing track. I got to be honest with you. We are down to the final month of the season. I mean, yeah. Final month. I know there's some tournaments for the summer, but it's the last month of the season. I can't believe, the real season is over, but we got 1 month left of spring, and It's gone super fast. It's a blur. And yet we still don't have any nice weather. Another week before we get the good weather, I think. So
I don't know. It's been nice enough outside for me.
Is that your dog crying in the background, or are those birds in the background? Which is it?
Well, could be a dog, could be birds. I think it's the dog.
For those of you who don't, that's got to be Addison, isn't it?
She's crying.
Yeah.
She's okay though.
All right, we'll forgive her because it's Addison, so we're all good. I still don't know how you named it after the rink, Addison.
Don't look at me. The person upstairs knows all about it.
Okay. All right. Just checking. Just trying to make sure. Yeah.
Go away, son. Sorry.
Son or Addison? Is Addison your son?
No, the son is taunting the dog.
Oh, because...
Walk away.
Flavory Soup says, "What's up? What's up there, my friend? How you doing?" All right, so
Living the dream, right?
Blackhawks looks like they're in the process of cleaning house. They got rid of their assistant coaches over the weekend, so
Oh, I missed that.
I guess the current head coach still has a shot. He hasn't been fired, so he's in the running. But I think he has to re-interview for the job. But he is still the head coach. And Crawford's out, the assistant coach, and the other one, I can't even remember what his name is, but they're out. So they're in the process of redoing things. I mean, they got a ways to go. They're going to have a rebuild season. I think they got to get into the free agency market. They need some players now. It's time.
We're going to see how much money they want to spend.
Yeah. Well, last time they stepped up, they went deep when they wanted to show that they were serious about rebuilding the team after Dollar Bill was gone. They went out and got Campbell. Campbell was the best available player and most expensive player. I'm not saying he was the best player, but he was the best of what was available, and he was the most expensive. And they went out and got him just to show they were serious. And, that started the whole turnaround. So, maybe it's...
And to justify that, Scott, anybody would have paid what they paid him.
Yeah.
So it's nice that he came over to the Blackhawks.
That was the start of good things for the Hawks. I mean, it really paid off.
First time in my life, you could buy actual Blackhawks stuff like at the store. Like, yeah, you could find an item every once in a while.
Yeah.
Now it's like there's so much stuff. It's like, okay, I got it. But thank you very much. I appreciate it. I'm glad for the big turnaround.
Yeah.
So, but I agree with you.
Yeah. So, I don't know if you're still keeping busy. I know you were on the sidelines for a little bit doing some things and working and all that good stuff. But, there's been a lot of excitement. We had the tournament last weekend. We didn't really get to talk about that because we had Billy Hancock on the show last week. And, basically our big tournament, what did they have? We had 3 tournaments in town. Was it like 1,500 games? I mean, it was some incredible amount of hockey.
It was, I know for a fact, last number I heard, but I think it got higher, was 1,250 something.
1,250. That's, how many do we get for the CCM when we have that in November?
Oh, I'm not sure. I forget how many it is. Like, I want to say that's like 1,700 or 1,800.
So it's a little bit more.
It's a little bit bigger.
Yeah, and when you think we got people that come in from out of town to work those games, you got officials that come in from out of town. I think we had some that came in from out of town for this because it was so busy. And I mean, it's just an incredible number, and some decent hockey. It's not the same. I mean, there was some really good hockey, but it wasn't as deep, I don't think, in terms of depth, like the quality of it. I don't know, for all you guys and girls that are watching the show, chime in the comments if you worked some of those games, if you had anything that was exciting, if you had anything that you want us to talk about or cover today, maybe a situation or something. Love to hear from you in the comments, and we can answer some of those questions. I know, it was fairly uneventful. I got to be honest with you, fairly uneventful as far as stuff. A couple parents behaving badly. But you're going to get that. It just happens. Parents behaving badly. I heard that from a couple of the other guys. It wasn't terrible, but hockey as far as it goes. I mean, we had teams from all over the place. We had Canadian teams in. Haven't seen Canadian teams in a long time. That's the first time I've seen Canadians here in, I don't know, pre-pandemic maybe. So I had a team from Alberta that was in. And they were good. I mean, that was nice to see. So, things really opening up around around North America, obviously. So that was cool. What do you want to cover today? I mean, we talked about a couple things pregame here, and obviously, we got the Hawks with the big change. I mean, that's kind of big news for us in Chicago because, we're hungry again to be in the playoffs. I mean, it's been how many years now since we've even made the playoffs? So, I think some change would be good.
Well, besides the Blackhawks, so a couple things that I know that are going on around the world of hockey. Number one is USA Hockey is revamping all of their seminar materials.
Oh, okay.
So this is the chance. If anybody sees this, if you have a idea or a suggestion, go ahead and let me or Scott know. And it's either Scott or Brad at refroom.com. All right.
No, it's
or at
refroom.com. Refroom Scott, refroom
Gmail.
Brad at gmail.com.
At gmail.com. Yep. No,
Yeah.
you're right. My bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that would be good because they're looking for some suggestions. They opened it up to some people, but if people have an idea and it's a good idea, it's always good to pass it along because it could get all the way up there to the national level and it can help people.
Well, what are
that's
some
number
of the
one.
things, like what would be a suggestion that you might have? Because you always are loaded with ideas. So what would you like to see change?
I would like to see some of the format switch from the level 3s and the 4s to less of a teaching exposure to where I'm talking at you, to where it becomes more group topic related. So they did a good job incorporating that throughout all the levels last season, and I know that they're open to all kinds of ideas. That's just something that I think, especially with level 3s and 4s, or especially 4s that have been around a long time, you know, you could have 10 videos and you could fill 2 hours of seminar, cover all the stuff that they need to know that on a non-rule change year like this year. You know, all the safe sports stuff and all that stuff, which we need to talk about that too. That, you know, would be a good interactive seminar. And I think interactive conversation goes a long way. And it also forces people while they're sitting to actually open a rule book and go, wait a minute, that's not how I read it. And they go in and they read it. So I've noticed that in some of the seminars where we had 30 minutes to where we got through and we just kind of opened it up to the instructors that were running those seminars to just do their free form. And they did, and they spurred a lot of great conversations. So I think that's the number one thing. That's me.
I mean, I'm not a huge fan of, like the slide deck. Death by PowerPoint is what it's called. I believe this is the official term for that. I would much rather have someone with charisma up there and that's got personality. And I think we have some of those people. I know we have those people because I've seen them kind of teaching and free-flowing. And, you need bullet points of some things you need to cover as far as topics go. I agree with that. But I don't think you need to be on a slide deck. I just
Correct.
Not a fan of that. I think, your idea of like the group setting, I think that's more of what it should be and more of a conversation. The only problem with that is you do get, and I'm not calling anybody out on this, but you're always going to have one or two
I know where you're going to
people
go with this.
that are just going to take you where you don't need to go and take you down a wrong path. So that's where, that becomes a problem, I guess. But I think, we absolutely have, and I can start naming names of like who would be a really good seminar instructor in terms of personality and topics and things of that nature. And I think really if, like everything is changing next year, so we don't have a closed book test anymore. I have a feeling the open book is going to be way, way, way more involved than it's been. And I
would
think it's
assume
gonna,
so.
I think it's going to be tough. I really do believe that. So I think it's going to be a lot of hunting and finding because we're all going to be on a search mission here for a lot of stuff. So I'm sure there's going to be a lot of questions as that happens because we're going to deep dive into that book. Make no mistake about it. You're probably going to learn the rules better next year than you ever have before because you're really going to have to look through the book.
Well, I can tell you this. I'm going to register real early because it's a non-rule change year.
Yep.
And I'll take my test real early. So I'll give people my opinion on it. I can't give you any answers.
Yeah.
But, I can give you my opinion.
Yep. Yeah.
How hard you should study or how hard it is. Yeah.
Well, when does registration open again for the test? Like, it's not a test, but you're going to get your 100 questions because it's going to go up from 50 to 100. So
when's it officially open? In a
yeah.
month?
Oh my gosh, we're already there. That's unbelievable.
Yep.
Unbelievable.
Seminars can start in July.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
we tried seminars here in July the last couple times. Didn't go over very well, so
no.
We're planning everything starting in August. But the big humdinger is that we're trying to get out to everybody. The sooner that we can get it out to everybody, and the sooner people understand it, you have to be entirely complete by December 31st.
Yeah.
Of this upcoming season. Normally it's March 31st.
Yeah, but you know what? I know that's a big deal, but in a way it really isn't because we've always really had to be complete by Thanksgiving? I think it was
December 1st.
Yeah, so, we always said by Thanksgiving, you got to be done. You got to be done because otherwise
you'd be shocked.
you'd start losing your games. You had games that were posted for you, and you're going to start losing them. So I think all of us are pretty much in the mindset that we've had till November 1st.
Yeah,
now,
I can tell you this.
Is that going to change because now everything is annual, right? Well, not the USA portion, but the portion that's Safe Sport is annual. And when I say it's annual, it's 365 days from when you took it. So if you take it August 1st, then you're going to have to complete it by August 1st the following year and every year after that, or you won't be certified.
Yeah, so that's a question that our panel had for our higher-ups that's, I know, going to get answered here shortly. I know they're getting a lot of questions about it. But, yeah, we were wondering the exact same thing. Like just at the local level here, if I did mine August 15th, can I do it now? Can I do it in May?
You can, but I think at that point you'd be taking a month off. So you certified for 12 months, you're only using 11, and now you got to be done. It's just going to get earlier. It'll be August, July.
We didn't know. We didn't know. We're curious about that too, on how that's all going to work, because now you're going to have a floating date for people, okay? Which it's always been floating, but it normally ends on the 31st. Well, now that it's annual,
I think they should tie it to your date of submission to complete, if that's doable. And I don't know, because this may be like a Congress chiming in on this where they made it this way. But to me, if you certify, let's say you finish all your curriculum for USA Hockey by November 1st, well, that's when your Safe Sport should kick in, and you'll be good till next year when your credentials would run out. But I guess that doesn't make sense either, because it's not going to work. You're going to have to do it every year. I think.
Yeah, what happens if you get certified in August? Like 1 year you get done in November, but then you get August. So, it's a double-edged sword there. So we're not sure. I'm going to go with, unfortunately, it's going to be something that's going to be left to everybody, because this isn't just us. This is coaches. This will be the players that are playing that are of age. All the managers, they're going to have to keep track of all this too. Yeah. Hopefully there's like an email that'll come to you. You have 30 days. Or you have 60 days. You have 30 days. Like 15.
I'm sure they will. They're going to have definitely an email chain for everybody with reminders. There's got to be some sort of notifications that go out.
Well, yes, that's the complicated. That's going
to be tougher. Think about that from the scheduler's standpoint. The schedulers have to get notified. Like, is this guy complete or not? They've got to know when everybody expires.
Yeah,
I'm sure AHI is going to want to send out reminders for everybody. They're not going to want anybody to go, past the point where they can't schedule them. We need everybody we can get.
Everybody. And nobody wants that to happen too, because what if signers that aren't on the web, that are just doing small stuff, like like a one-off here or one-off there, they may not get that information all the time. So, I think everybody's going to work their best to get it done. I just don't know what safety net's there. So, but we'll find out. I'm sure we'll get answers. Hopefully, I'm not too worried about it.
All right, I hear we had some big activity with Illinois hockey over the weekend. You want to tell us all about that and congratulate some of our own that got into the Illinois Hockey Hall of Fame?
The Hall of Fame. Oh, yeah, that was fun. Just so everybody knows, it was last night. It was a great event. Lots of people there. There were a lot more people there than I expected. This is my first year going, so I didn't even know what to expect. But went in, talked to a lot of people, and so they did last year's inductees and this year's inductees at the same time. So the 2020 and the 2021s, which are inducted in now, they did them all at the same time last night. And from the referee side, it was Larry Smokin from Illinois, D. Ray Tucker from down south in Champaign. So the down south guys get some representation there. D. Ray's been down there for as long as I can remember, and I've been around a long time.
I recognize the name. I can't put the face with the name because he's down south.
And then Bill Furman got in. So that was a
Bill.
good night to everybody.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations to all of them. It's nice. It's nice to know, the past inductees were there. Mr. Drews was there. Oh, boy. I'm trying to go through everybody. Jack Raz, John Raz. If I leave somebody out, I'm sorry. Don Allard was there. Trying to think about who. There were a lot of people there. I mean, Mr. Prescott was there to make an appearance.
Oh.
Got to see him, so that was nice. Talked to him for a little bit. So we got to see a lot of people, people that you don't always see in that situation. So, but it was nice. It was a good time. And then congratulations to all the other people that got in. I knew so many of the other people from the builders side. J.J. O'Connor got in, if anybody doesn't know who he is.
I do know that name. Why do I know that name?
Because the one rink is named after him at Leaf Center.
That's what it is.
So JJ was paralyzed when he was 16 playing ice hockey in Illinois. And last night he was inducted into the Illinois Hockey Hall of Fame. He actually did more than I even knew what he did. But he was one of the people that put together sled hockey and multiple forms of special hockey throughout USA Hockey, and then went and formulated a plan, built it in areas, yada yada. Then he was also the GM the first year. By the way, if I'm battering this up, I'm just giving you guys all a words for dummies version or something like that. Cliff Notes. That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Cliff Notes. And the USA team in sled hockey won their first gold medal, and he was the general manager at the time of
cool.
it. And he's been doing stuff like that. And then he also does a bunch for Illinois hockey on the website side of stuff, I do believe. And he does a bunch of other stuff too. So don't give him any discredit, but he still loves the game, even though what happened to him could probably turn a lot of people against it.
Is that the story that Mike Barrett tells a lot at the seminars?
No.
Oh, that's different. Okay.
That's a totally different different story. I know what you're talking about, though.
Yeah.
But yeah, so great guy. Paul Jakubowski. A lot of people don't know him, maybe, but I bet you've all ran into him at the rink because he's been around forever. He'll always come talk to you if you're a referee and he notices you. He'll come and say hi. There were so many people there getting inducted. I can't even think of everybody's name.
Yeah, 2 years worth. So I'm sure it was a lot.
Yeah. So, but it was a good time. Quite a few officials there. We'll see where it goes from there. What next year brings us, of course.
Okay.
So the next big event is USA Hockey Congress. So that kicks off 6/8 and ends on the 11th, and that's in Colorado Springs.
Are you going to that this year?
Officially, yes, I am now.
No. Cool.
So I'm going.
Represent.
People.
Very nice.
Well, it's not a rule change year, so there's not that much for us. Thank you, Steve. Yeah, Kendall Coyne was also inducted, but she was the year before, so that's why. Steve will probably know everybody. We'll have a list here.
Yeah. But feel free to type them in the comments, Steve. We'd be happy to post them up. Okay.
So USA Hockey Congress will happen. So it's not a rule change year. So this will basically be a planning year. So I'm not sure. I've never been to a non-rule change year. So I don't know exactly what it's going to be. So I'm going to learn some stuff and see what happens. And whatever I learn there, I'll bring back to our board, which then our board will then take it out and share it to everybody else.
Well, here's one you can share back out. Can we please go back to delayed offsides?
Yeah, I you know what? You weren't around, so the tag up offsides, then there was this other offsides, which I think we brought it up once.
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about.
Never worked. It came out, your arm went up, as long as your players, let's see, it went in off. If they went in offsides and your players were above the top of the circle, you'd put your arm up and you'd wait. If they were below the top of the circle, it was automatically offsides.
Well, that's almost how it is in delay. If you got a guy that gets past the top of the circle, gets down to the hash mark, you better blow the whistle. So if you're doing high school and you got a guy chasing somebody that gets to that point, you better blow the whistle.
But this isn't chasing. This could be a guy is on the other in the other side of the board,
standing down there.
It happened to be. It was just how they referenced it because if the puck came out this much, and you threw it back in, and that guy was down there, it automatically stopped.
Oh, okay.
So it was weird. But if they were at the top of the circles or beyond, it didn't stop. So we had officials that that leewayed that into the top of the
Yeah, top of the little
dot. He was close enough. Yeah. Which circle are we talking about? So it didn't really work out well. Plus, I think it was confusing for the players. I'm sure it was really confusing for the coaches at that point. So, but I get what they're doing, and they're trying to make skill development and have the players handle the puck.
There were some coaches at the tournament that were asking, could we play delayed offsides? And it's like, no, we can't. But they're asking for it. They want it back. I think I think by popular demand, a lot of people would like to see that come back. High schools love it. High schools love playing by those rules. They, just saying, just putting it out there, okay? All right, let's take a look at some of the comments. We'll see what the deal is. Alan from Skokie. Happy 5th birthday to Frankie. A shout out to Joe Prescott. Frankie that he's referring to is my dog who celebrated her 5th birthday last week. So, yeah, Frankie, she might stick her head in there later. She usually does. Bradley and Smokin, what's up, fellas? Is that bad Brad Baumruck?
Who's Bradley?
That's got to be Bad Brad. I think that's who he's referring to.
I don't know who Bradley is. So
yeah, maybe Addison wants some FaceTime. Yeah, Addison. Yeah, I agree. We probably get better ratings if Addison comes on the show and
instead
and
of me.
Up,
I got an idea.
Everybody likes the dogs. Don't forget that.
Hang on. What we'll do is we'll put the dog on camera.
Look who's arrived. Come here.
We'll put the dog on camera and I'll talk. So we'll get like a double thing. So we'll have like knowledge. Plus, we'll get that cute dog hit thing that people make a lot of money on.
She showed it. I said, Frankie, she heard her birthday mentioned, and there she is. She's not jumping up too far, but you can see her nose down in the corner, okay? All right, so that's my girl celebrating her 5th birthday last week. Let's see here. Break time has arrived. Finally get me off the ice for a while. Yeah,
fatigue.
I feel the same. I feel the same way. I got to be honest. I feel the same way, but I know the end is in sight. Like we only have a month left. Still like to skate those games, make some money, have some fun, stay in shape. Because I'm gonna put 10 pounds on the minute hockey shuts down. Like we go adult league, it's 10 pounds. It's automatic. Like you could just watch it. You can watch the counter, tick down. Like 1 pound, 2 pounds, 3 pounds, 10 pounds.
I got an idea.
So, what's that?
Go out and get yourself 2 10-pound ankle weights, all right?
Okay.
Measure yourself right as men's league is ending.
Yep.
Or weigh yourself, okay?
Okay.
Then, after that month, go ahead and weigh yourself again. You'll thought you lost 10 pounds. You'll be okay.
I will have lost 20, 10 on each leg.
No, because you're going to gain 10.
Yeah, I know.
So it'll offset it by that 20. So then you're losing 10.
I like the math. That works for me. Trust me.
Modern day problems require modern day solutions.
We should have like a referee pool, like how many pounds everybody goes up off season. That's all.
Let's not do that.
Yeah, but
because there are some
that's
people
kind of
that
how I
come
feel.
back
Like
really
I'm
thin.
tired. I worked a lot of games. Thank you. I'm glad I got the games. I still love working the games, but you can feel it. I haven't had a lot of days off, and I'm happy about that because I thought it was kind of a light spring. I'm not going to lie. I thought April and May kind of light. I'm used to seeing more games, I think, than we saw this year.
Scott, here's the question that I have, okay? And I've had this conversation. Is it the overall physical part of being tired, or is it the mental part because of the consistent onslaught that you deal with every game mentally?
I think it's the mental. I think it's the mental side. I think it's the mental. That's just me personally. It's stressful out there, guys. I mean, I had a game yesterday, and I waved the goal off. Guy clearly in the middle of the damn crease. Waved the goal off. Team lost their mind. Lost their mind. Like, why? It's no goal. Sorry. Guys in the crease. Shot came from outside the crease. Clear as day. Like, how do you not know that the guy's there? I just couldn't get the whistle to my mouth any faster by the time he shot the puck and went in. But, you know, he went psychotic. They all go psychotic, you know. It's just the way it is. It's what we deal with. You know, you talk about additional stress. I happened to be in a college yesterday, a college rink.
Okay.
You know, with a ref room that's not in the best shape. Now they're storing
I know
the
where you're
leaf.
talking.
They have the leaf blower back there. They had 7 or 8 blades from the Zamboni in that room stacked up.
All right. They're starting to move more stuff
Trying to
into
think
there.
what else they had in there, but it's going back to the storage facility that it once was. Now they didn't put the used tires back there, and they didn't put the compressor back there that they used to have. But then to top it off, you can see your breath when you walk in that building. Now you can see your breath. It's like 20 degrees in the building. I kid you not. The coaches from that area come with their parkas. They got the $700-800 parkas.
So
And
Scott,
they still have to put the hat on and they're cold out there, and you can see it. And the opposing team shows up thinking it's spring, and you want to see them suffering. I mean, I could have sold hand warmers at the bench. I could have like bid them out for high prices. Here's a hand warmer. Who wants it? Used hand warmer. Who wants it?
Hey.
No,
I got a tip for that rink.
No dehumidifier, no dehumidification. All the glass soaking wet all the way around the building. So, I mean, time to step it up a little bit over there. You know, they're
Right. I got a suggestion for that rink for you, just so everybody, you know, if you know what rink we're talking about, you have to go through 2 doors to get to the building where the rink is.
Depends
okay?
on, you know,
From the
you can
ref room.
enter. You can enter from the side. So let's
From the ref
clarify
room.
that, because you can enter from the parking lot from the side. But
No,
there's a very
from the ref
famous
room.
football team that plays out of this building, and not in this building, but
Not
at
in the
this
building.
facility.
The building's next door.
So that
Yeah.
hopefully helps clear it up a little bit without saying.
But when you're going out into the ice, you walk through the one door, you go about 3 more steps, and you got to go through another door. That
Right.
should be the ultimate kicker. And the one door is like, you know, only like 1.5 feet wide.
Yeah, the airlock.
It's really weird. It's very weird. Anyways, but if you're there, and let's say you have an island game that's a solo, all right, there are
then
extra
then you could get a locker room, but
yeah,
not
there's extra locker
available.
rooms.
Refused to give us one because it wasn't an island. We had 2 games, so yeah.
That's when you ask that's when you ask if the high school locker room is being used.
We asked for everything. They would not give anything.
Yeah,
Okay.
you got the wrong person.
Last week I was there. They gave us a locker room, and then they moved us out of there while we were in the middle of the game and put us in the office. Fine, take the office. Office
The
is
office
okay.
is fine.
Office is fine. I got
dressed
no
there
problem with
before.
that. But you know, we were in the Zamboni room. Okay, the storage closet.
That's not really the Zamboni room. Hey, you know, funny. There used to be a trainer's table in there.
No, in the ref room.
I kid you not. There used to be a trainer's table in there. So there's a little
We
interesting
had one of
fact
our
for you.
officials that went to school there, and he used to get us into the laundry room, and we dress at the laundry room there. So there's like a laundry room down, further down the road, over across.
Okay.
More by the home team bench, like back in that area, and that was fine. Like that was okay. I mean, it was still better than, the Zamboni room, the storage facility.
I know when one of the coaches was there, he allowed the referees to dress there. I forget which coach it was, but it was like a known, like you could go get dressed in there. They would give you the locker room code.
Yeah,
You could go get dressed
they
in there.
used to be
'Cause
really
they
cool
would-
about it.
They would. Well, I think somebody messed that up. I think a referee messed that up for us. So
Unbelievable. Like
if somebody's
guys,
going to be nice to us, be nice back. Don't leave your trash.
Exactly, guys.
Don't touch their
or
stuff.
girls, boys and girls, play nicely.
Yeah.
Play nicely. Don't leave the ref room a mess when you leave.
That's a big thing.
When you go out on the ice, don't leave the ref room a mess. Okay. You never know who's coming in after you. Okay. You're not the only 2 people that are going to be in the building that day. Don't leave all your stuff all over the place. Your cell phone. I'm shocked. Like, I hate to say it, but
The cell phone thing.
I'm
I know where
surprised,
you're
like,
going.
some of these cell phones don't just magically disappear, because you have people that walk in these rooms that have no business being there, but they do it anyway. So I'm just, just a word to the wise. A word to the wise. That's all I can say.
Yeah,
Put your stuff away.
I know people that don't even leave their car keys in the ref rooms.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
oh well.
It's notorious. Locker rooms are notorious for stuff walking away, just so you know. Okay? So, not a good idea. All right, let's look at some more of these comments. Maybe Addison wants some FaceTime. I bet Addison would like some FaceTime. So, you need to bring her out. Is it him? Bring him out. She. It's her. Bring her out.
She's sleeping.
See, you got like me. You got Addison, it's a girl. I got a Frankie, that's a girl too. So, all right. Flavory Soup says break time is arrived. We already got to that one.
Yeah, you got both of those.
Yeah, here's Flavory. Here's the one. I had a kid get an elbow to the back of the head and bleeding on the ice, and I was told it was a BS call. So good to see coaches and parents haven't lost their reputation. Yeah, coaches and players only see it their way. It's the reality of it. I'm sorry. How many times do you have a player that has the most obvious penalty? Everybody in the building knows it's a penalty, except the guy that did it. Except the guy that, me, goes to the bench, goes everywhere he can go, except to the penalty box. Me? What? Huh? I mean, it's just the way it is. I mean, that's how the
whiner. Just a whiner. That's all it is.
That's how they're. I don't know.
I like when the guy sticks his stick in there and it goes into the bottom of the skate there.
Oh yeah,
where the hole is.
Oh, no,
and the guy trips him and the stick's there and they skate away.
The evidence has been left behind, is what I tell him. The evidence is still there.
Sorry, you're not gonna get away with that one.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, the guy hooked his skate around my stick. I didn't do anything.
Yeah, he was busy. He thought he was in one of those.
Didn't you see him? He had his leg up. He was trying to fit it over my skate blade while I was skating down the ice rough.
Oh my God! All right, keep going.
Okay, yeah, I don't want to carry on with that one. Discussion can bring up questions and information that happens but doesn't get
covered normally.
Oh, covered normally. Okay.
That's referring.
I didn't know that was one word, covered normally.
Yeah,
what is that?
Just a space in there. No worries. Yeah, that's referring to the conversation about seminars. Yeah. I get that, and I agree with that. That's why I like that format.
Yeah.
But there still has to be some sort of structure. So,
Flavory Soup says it's an extra month. Steve Drew says Bob Graham.
Yeah.
Jim McKeague, Grant Mulvey, Mike. I don't know, how do you pronounce Mike's last name? Zvak, Tony Cathy, John Gerbeck, Joe Modric, Jack Weinberg. Oh, I know Jack Weinberg. Jack's on this. You see him at a lot of the high school
Jack's
games.
Another one of our own. He referees too.
Yeah, he's a ref. And Frankie has returned. Do you want to get up here and say hello to everybody? Come on up. Oh, no, she wants to. She's just going to work my arm the whole time, like pet me. That's all. Okay, thanks for that, though. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks.
Just the
Steve,
dog, not the rink. Frankie says the same thing. Men's league never ends. Yes, that is true. Men's league never ends. Thank goodness, because, it's an opportunity to keep skating.
It used to. There used to be there'd be one men's league that would run it from maybe mid this month till mid July. Almost everybody else was off.
Yeah.
But there was one that ran.
I'll be honest with you. I'm glad men's league does keep going because I want to keep skating. I even though I'll get tired and I'll get worn out and I want a couple of days off, I like to skate year round. I do not like to put them away for 3 or 4 months like a lot of guys do. I think if I was younger, I wouldn't have a problem doing that. I'm being really honest. If you're a senior official like myself, over 30.
I never
just
liked
over 30.
Not too much, but I took a little while off.
I want to keep skating. I just don't want to lose, whatever I got left. And I think that's why it was tough. I think for a lot of the guys or ladies that took off for a year or 2 years during the pandemic, I think it would have been very tough to come back from that. I really do.
It was rough.
Yeah.
Oh, it was rough.
Yeah.
I'll be the first person. There were a lot of things on my skates that I can do again now that were like cheats. I couldn't do them when I first came back. Like, I was like, oh my God, I'm going to get killed. Like, so I had to relearn some stuff. But no, I agree with you. So let's cover the IHOA elections.
Oh yeah, that's. By the way, we are not going to be on next Monday night, just so you guys know, because it is election night. Yeah, election night 2022.
Yep.
But it's election night for everybody at IHOA. So explain it all to him, Brad. I'm going to let you be the color commentator here. Give it to him.
All right. Well, so the election is going to be Monday, the 9th. Is that right? Yeah, May 9th.
Yeah.
It's 7 o'clock, and it's going to be at the Marriott in Naperville, which, if you don't know where it's at, real quick, 1801 Naperville Road. That's Naperville, Illinois, 60563. So the candidates right now are Eric Kelsel, and we're looking for 5 spots. John Dunn, Anthony Ferrito, Scott Gaffney, Jeff Bakosha, Todd Permute, and Dan Zaludek. Just so everybody knows, those are in alphabetical order. They don't go in any other order. That's the way we always put them in there. So just so you know. But we have 5 positions always. And there's 4 people running for it.
No, more than 4 people running.
No. I'm thinking,
5 spots.
I'm trying to remember how many people are staying in. I think it's 3 or 4. I can't remember.
Okay.
It's too much to follow.
So here's the deal. You have to be present to win. No, you
Yeah.
have to be present to vote is
To
what
vote.
the deal is. So you can't vote, which, in this day and age, don't you think it's time we could start having a better way to not have to go to Naperville?
It's one time out of the year. That's the way we put it.
Just saying,
And
in this day and age, we could do something
Well,
online somehow, some way.
Here's what I'll tell you. All right, Scott. So we did do the last 2 years virtually. And I'd say about 90% of the people that will be there in Naperville were the ones online. So that 10% and all the extra work that would have to go into it, I don't think anybody has it. But it's
They
also
have an app for us. Isn't there an app we could do this with that would, like 1 vote per, IP address or something? I mean, there's got to be a way to do that. That would be easy. I would think.
So there's a way to do it, but they had put a survey out many years ago already, and people didn't trust that their vote would be.
Imagine that.
I'm just
Imagine
telling you,
that.
that it wouldn't be private because of the IP address.
Oh.
But also, it brings up another point. Let's say you and me live in the same house. We get 2 votes.
Yeah.
We're still on the same IP address. So it kind of.
Yeah,
I know
but,
how all of it
there's got to
works,
be a way
too.
to tie it off a cell phone or something like, you can buy a couple burner phones and get a couple extra votes for your buddies.
Yeah. Well, no, I get it. I just don't think right now is, if we had gotten let's say we had gotten quadruple the participation of having it online. Well, then I get that, but we really didn't. So
I've
the
gone
other
to a
thing
lot
is-
of usually if I'm not working, reffing that night, and I have a game that night, so I don't know. I want to get there and vote so I can get out of there because I have to go to my game.
Yep.
We need a way to be able to get that vote in quick and get out while you can to get to work because it's not that easy. There are games, so there are people that are working. I don't know. Maybe that's by design. Maybe they're trying to give me a message here. We'll give them a game on Monday night. We'll keep them out of there from voting.
Yeah, I don't think that's the case. But yeah, so it's at 7 o'clock. Marriott in Naperville. Okay. Lots of good people running.
Yeah, there are. There's a lot of really good candidates there. A lot of people that have worked really hard over the years for us. A lot of people that I know will be really good on the board because they have a lot of board experience. Mm-hmm. So yeah, show up next week.
I agree.
If you're an IHOA member, so that's for you in all of you that are in the Chicagoland area, the IHOA members. Okay, so that's why we won't be on next Monday night. So you guys know. We got to get out and vote. Keep hope alive. All right, let's see. Sam Maddow checking in. Did a midget game this weekend, and the one team's coaches didn't know about automatic offsides, and that is icing on the power play.
Maybe it's his first year back.
Well, I'm curious as to what teams were you doing, or did you have a high school team playing in a midget category versus, that would be my guess. I bet it was a high school team playing in a midget category, but I know a lot of times with the tournaments, if it's a high school team, they're only willing to play under the high school rules, because I've heard that before, and everybody's agreed to it because they were high school teams, even though it was a midget situation. But it was a tournament, so you got to go with what the tournament rules are. I can tell you firsthand that
he said pure midget. So the only
midget.
thing I can think of is it was probably a team that was put together somehow, and they got some coach or a dad that used to coach, and they just had him on there as a figurehead on the bench. That's what I would assume, because it's spring.
Well, I'll give you one better. I had a referee I worked with that didn't know where the face-off went after a penalty. And he proceeded to argue with me. And I pointed, take it down at the end zone. And he pointed back and blew his whistle in the neutral zone. And I pointed back at the end zone. And he goes, "It's not the NHL." I said, "Yeah, you're right. But the face-off's down there anyway." He didn't believe me. He went to the coach. And the coach... he asked the coach, where does the face-off go? The coach is like, "Well, where do you think it goes? It goes down in the end zone."
That's funny.
So, yeah.
It happens.
It was not funny if you were there, okay?
Yeah, maybe he was having a brain fart. You don't know.
It was
Stuff
scary.
happens.
It was scary. You might want to trust your partner out there, okay? If your partner, tells you, talk to your partner. If he suggests maybe the face-off should be over there, maybe you guys should come to some sort of an agreement.
Yeah.
That's what your partner is for. All right, let's see. From Karen, Cliff Coral was there. Wasn't the Blackhawks GM there for Mulvey and Kendall? Oh, who is the new... They literally just got my understanding, they just got a new GM, right? Like last week or something? I think they got
so.
I could be mistaken.
Honestly, I haven't been keeping
some of you
up
guys
on
that follow, I'm working all the time. I don't get to follow the NHL like I should or would like to. But I thought that they hired somebody that worked under Theo Epstein, which is a baseball guy. So I don't know if he came from the Cubs, but the Hawks went to the Cubs last time. Okay, the big gun that they got, that there was their president and big shot. He was the marketing guy for the Cubs. So I'm not surprised that they go back to baseball and try to get somebody from baseball to come in here and operate the team. That does not surprise me in the least. So, again, some of you guys that follow it a little bit closer and maybe have season tickets or get a chance to watch some of those games, which I don't get to do. So I'd love to hear, but I'm pretty sure that's the deal. Sam said, yeah, pure midget. Let's see. Playoffs underway officially. Why would I want to be skating and getting abused when I can watch playoff hockey?
You can DVR playoff hockey and watch it after.
I mean, look, playoff hockey is great, but being abused is much better.
All right.
And I think you get a little more abuse in the springtime than you do during the season. Just my opinion.
So.
You don't think so?
No.
I think it depends. I think tournament-wise, I think it's more abuse. I think
you might be right with
if you're working the higher level games and you're seeing those coaches, no, they're less. They're not abusive during the season. I'm not even taking those coaches into consideration as being abusive, because they're not. They're pretty cool, honestly. But I don't know how we keep the youngsters. And when I say the youngsters, our newer officials have to work those squirt games. They work mite games. They work peewee games. That's tough. It's tough. I sympathize. I don't know how we keep them, because, boy, they got to be really thick-skinned. And that's not the easiest spot to be. We can go on that. I mean, that could be a topic one day, seriously. But if you want to retain, Brad's working AAA games. He's working high school games. He's working a lot of great games. He sees the same coaches all the time. Okay? Not going to have a problem with him. Yeah, they're going to have disagreements, but they're going to see each other again. Probably the same week. They know each other. They know what to expect. When he hits the ice, they know what the standard is. If one of the other guys comes over, they've seen him. They know what the standard is. They know.
Yeah,
For the little guys
that comes
coming out, the 12 and 14, the 14-year-olds, and they don't know what the standard is. They don't know what they're getting, and it becomes tough. It's tough.
Now, Scott, here I'll give you a great example. I was working AAA games. They were playing 320s with 2 ice cuts, and we're working them, and no problems. Teams coming in from all over the country, and they were so happy that we had 3 officials. And then they were even happier about how the games were ran by the officials in Chicago.
Yeah,
I had quite a few coaches tell me that. So Sunday rolls around.
They got to play. They got to play.
So Sunday rolls around, and I am working 2 Bantam, A games in a row, which is fine. And then I'm working a Pee Wee game and a squirt game and a mite game. No problems. You know where the problem was? The kids that can barely stand up with big helmets on. The coaches were insane. That's a hook. I'm like, they can barely
Hook,
stand
trip,
up.
Interference. Oh my God.
I'm like,
that's a death penalty.
I'm like, what are you talking about? They can't stand up. Like, there's probably not a trip or a hook out here. Somebody's probably gonna have to kill somebody.
Some of those kids aren't even strong enough to pick the stick up to hook anybody.
Yeah, I'm like, and it was the whole game, whole game.
Yeah.
And afterwards, I pulled the guy aside and I'm like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "What?" I go, "Listen." I go, "I've been doing this for X amount of years." I go, "I do games up and down and all," and I go on, and I go, "If you treat our young officials like this," I go, "you are a problem." I go, "You're a problem." I go, "Because you should be focused on these 14 kids you have on the bench that can't even skate." I go, they're not getting to the NHL right here. I hope you know that. All right? And neither are probably the officials that are here, including myself. But you're definitely not going anywhere.
Yeah.
All right? So you need to calm down and just educate your kids and teach them how to play hockey and how the game is. Why are you yelling at the referees in a mic game? Is this really going to matter?
Yeah.
And he was stunned that anybody would talk to him like that. And I'm like,
because somebody actually
thanks for understanding.
Confronted him under the situation. They think that they're the only ones that can do all the yelling and screaming. I mean, I had a coach earlier this year. It was, I don't know, Pee Wee. What's above Pee Wee House?
Pee Wee A, Double A.
Yeah, Pee Wee A, maybe Pee Wee A, Pee Wee House, whatever it was. Squirt B, who knows? And he kept putting I'm doing it solo. He keeps putting his hand up.
Yeah.
Hey, coach, you got a question? I see you keep putting your hand up. Oh, no, I'm just trying to help you out. Did I ask for any help? Do I look like I need any help? Have I missed anything? Nope.
See, I would have been like, go get some skates.
Yeah.
That's how I would have dealt with him.
And it's like, it's fine. At the end of the day, I actually talked to the guy, and he was a little upset that I confronted him afterwards about that. But I did say, you're going to have 12 and 14-year-old, 16-year-old, younger, newer officials working your games. They're not going to be able to put up with you like I can put up with you and deal with you. And he actually came back in the rink a few minutes later, and he apologized. He said, I never really thought of it that way, and I'm sorry. So I think a lot of times I think most of us do help out and do some games that you might not normally do, or you're assigned to something that fits into your schedule while you're there.
Yeah.
You should take advantage of it, and it is an opportunity to teach. I mean, we're taught to teach some of the kids under certain circumstances because we're teachers at that level. Sometimes with some of these younger and newer, well, he's not younger, but newer or less experienced, less experienced coaches not working at a higher level, they might need a little help too. Honestly, I think sometimes if you can be diplomatic about it and explain the situation, it's going to save a problem for somebody down the road that's newer in this game, because Otherwise, you're not going to be able to keep those poor kids. I mean, we're putting them in a tough spot. They get in a tough spot. And I mean, we have some great programs. We got the mentoring program. We've got the evaluation program. I would be a fan of a couple more things. I mean, I would like to see the mentor program go even beyond where it is. And what I mean by that is we get out and we usually work with a couple of the skaters, the first couple times they referee, and then we kind of turn them loose, and then eventually an evaluator gets to them and works with them. But I'd love to see the opportunity for the mentor to go back after the official has worked 7 or 8 games, maybe by themselves, after they've had their mentor do a game or two with them. Then they get a few more games, and then we come back where they might have more questions and a quicker way to kind of help them get acclimated to where they're supposed to be. Because if you ask the other referees that you're working with, I'm sure they're going to be more than happy to help you and give you some suggestions and everything. But that may be a good opportunity. Not everybody probably needs it, but we've had some officials where it would be great if you went back to them and continued to help them a little bit further on their journey.
I know a lot of the mentors follow up with an email afterwards.
Yeah. Yep.
And, they put their information in there. If you need something, let me know, yada, yada. And I have heard of some officials that have taken advantage of it.
Yeah.
So, it's a give and take relationship, too.
I just think coming back on the ice with them and working another game with them at some point, I think that would be really great. That's just my personal opinion. I think it might be something.
If our numbers go up, it would probably be very plausible.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's the thing. So,
yeah,
all right.
It really is. I mean, I also think, when we have these, we get the tournaments that we bring referees out and they get to work the 3 or 4 man, and then they're not used to doing that, and they're working lines and they're working, in the middle. I'd sure like to see us get the in-ear monitor pieces so that we could actually talk to them while they're on the ice, versus you come back in an hour later and go, hey, do you remember that play in the second period where you were, and they're like, oh yeah, I remember that. I have no clue about it. But, I think if you would be like, like they're leaving the zone, like get on your horse and go now, like hustle out of there, follow that play right now, versus waiting and then they're in a different time zone by time the new official starts to take off, and you could see they're already like crossing center ice. Just little things like that. I think if we could figure out a way to get in-ear monitors, I think that would be a great way to teach. I don't know what your thoughts are. Put them in the comments. I might be crazy with some of these things that I think about, but that's what I would like to see. Let's see. Flavory Soup says, I did 1 Pee Wee game this year and remembered why I don't do anymore. Yeah, I get it. Believe me, I get it. Have you tried Midget Northwest? That'd be another.
I still have very few issues with it. So, there's a game I'll do.
You're always politically correct, Bad Brad.
It's true.
So, some of these guys, I get where they're coming from. I believe him. Blackhawks general manager Kyle Davidson added to his new leadership team Thursday by hiring former Cubs executive Jeff Greenberg. Yeah, I knew there was some Cubs connection there. All right, so where did our new general manager come from is the question.
Sky.
Where did he come from?
The Sky. I have no idea where he came
Chicago
from. I don't have a clue. No. I didn't even think about that, but no.
Yeah.
Just like, he just fell from the sky.
Yeah. So I don't know where he came from. I'm sure somebody will chime in and let us know. Let's see here. Oh, wait. What's this one before? Hang on. I got to go back here. All right. Guys like that need to be put in. Okay. I know what you're referring to.
He's talking about the coaches.
Brad, you forgot to mention the whistle used by Mr. Smith.
That's how he got everybody's attention last night in order to wrangle everybody in. He used one of the electronic whistles.
Yeah, I'm sure that didn't work very well. He should have brought the call.
No, he did it into the microphone. It worked out very well.
Okay.
It worked out very well.
All right.
So
that's better than somebody that normally they run around and ring chimes to get people to come in to dinner at the banquet facilities and the hotels. It's they chime and everybody's supposed to come in. So I like that. I think that's way more hockey. But the electronic whistle, forget about it. Forget about it. No electronic whistle. All right, here we go. Brad didn't say for our ADP games at Wheaton, you guys thought about earpieces for us.
We have. It's something that's been discussed a couple times, so we're going to keep hitting it. The only problem that we always have is the, how do we make it disposable? But, Scott's around, so we can ask him on how to do stuff like that.
Yeah,
we don't need to talk about it on here.
You can get replaceable tips. I mean, look, I'll put this up so you guys can see what I have here.
Yep.
But I have to cover my
can't
eyes
see.
because
you can't see nothing.
Yeah, it's autofocus. So if I cover my eyes, it should be able to focus on.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, that works.
Okay.
Wow.
It's just there's tips you can get for it. Just like the new if you had the old iPad or what do you call these things?
iPhone.
AirPods or
AirPods.
Whatever. If you have the old ones, again, I got to cover my face so you guys can see what I'm doing here because it's
Screen
auto
looks better
tracking
that
for
way.
the eyes. But if you do this, can you see that now?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see it. So there's no tip on that. Those don't have tips. But the newer ones, the more expensive ones, of course, do have tips that go on them. So
Okay.
I would say that that's all you got to do. Or you require everybody to have their own little earpiece. You can probably get them. They're probably not that expensive.
Hey, how does that work with the guests coming on?
Yeah, we could do that. You just got to,
So,
Yeah, you should be
all
mailing
right.
them. You should be mailing them out to all the guests. I know some people that do that. They feel that if the show is that important, you send the earpieces out to the guest. But yeah, I know none of our guests ever have them. They should.
No, there's quite a few. There's
we
quite a
deal with
few.
it.
Don't-
We just improvise. We get through it. So
No,
we
a lot
don't
of the
have a
time
guest
it's-
today, so we don't have to worry about it.
No, a lot of the time it's all right. Do you have your earpiece? I didn't realize
Yeah.
I needed it.
Yeah.
It's in that big thing that I sent
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. You think they're like they read the rule book, okay?
Funny. Actually, the officials haven't been the problem.
Yeah.
So
Alan Gould, like to see the ref mic'd up. Yeah, Alan wants him mic'd up at Skokie. We can do
Yeah.
that, you just need to invest in the equipment. And I hate to tell you, I have the wireless mics
hang
for my
on.
business.
Scott,
But-
that's not only the equipment. We live in this state of Illinois. You can't record somebody. So, if you're out there talking and we got somebody else on there, we'd have a problem.
You turn them on, you turn them off.
For what?
He wants them mic'd up for calling the penalties like they do in the NHL. Okay, so it's a
okay.
wireless mic system. I have them, Sennheiser wireless mic systems.
Well,
right?
you know what? They are
have those.
remodeling,
But
so that should be in the budget.
the ones that they get are, they are remodeling at Skokie. They've been closed.
Yeah, they are. They're closed until
Yeah.
the end of September.
I learned something interesting yesterday or 2 days ago. One of the coaches was telling me we were at Glacier, and I thought we were on a different rink than we normally are for the high school game. And the coach says, "Oh, I hate that rink." And I'm like, "Why? What's the difference? It's the same." He goes, "No, one ice surface is sand, and one ice surface is concrete. He likes to be on the concrete." He goes, "That's for hockey. The sand side is for the figure skaters." I didn't know that. You know anything about that? Because you were a rink guy. Supposedly, does that make the ice softer? So it's softer for figure skaters and
So there's the sand and the concrete don't have any difference. Figure skating
this
or whatever.
was news to me. I didn't know. I didn't know the rinks were built differently.
There's two things that they could be referring to. Number one is the one side, they may actually keep the ice surface temperature level higher so that it's softer. And for figure skating, yes, the ice should be warmer for figure skating. It's set up more to their needs and the things that they do on the ice compared to hockey players.
Skokie has always been a warm building, which is really pleasant to work in.
The building doesn't matter.
In the winter, it's very nice to work there. You're not going to freeze to death. You won't see your breath when it's 60 degrees outside.
The building doesn't matter. You could put a rink up in the middle of the desert, and it would be fine because all the cooling, it comes from underneath. So the other thing that they could be referring to is the thinner the ice is, the faster the ice is. And on a concrete sheet, you can always make the ice thinner because you're starting with a solid surface. On sand, yeah, you try to get it flattened out as much as you can, but it's still got some bumps and ripples and stuff like that. And water always finds its own level. So you actually have to build ice higher on a sand surface than you do on a concrete surface. So there's two parts of it. So actually, we could do a refrigeration show on how an ice rink works and explain to everybody on exactly how it works. We could do that.
Might be.
I don't know if anybody would be interested in it.
Yeah, I don't know. I think we all just want the end product. You know, when we get there, it's ready to go and it's flat and it's smooth and the ice is good. And we know that's not always the case, but that's the optimal wish list. So.
Yeah, I hear you. All right. On that note,
love to know how they should take some of the ripples out. Because some of the places, it's flat and then you hit a couple dips in the ice in a couple spots.
There's all kinds of stuff you can do.
Yeah.
Normally you hit dips going across the short side.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that
kind of wraps up an hour for us. I got to get to games.
Yeah.
I got to go to work.
All right.
I got to go make that beer league money. So
there you go.
Right. All right. So
All
we will not see you guys next Monday. We'll put a reminder up, but we will be off next Monday again for the elections. It's election 2022. And Terry says, "Hey guys, what's up, Terry? How are you? Always good to see you checking in. Appreciate it."
Terry will be there Monday.
If you haven't hit the subscribe button and the notification button, we do greatly appreciate that. You can hit the thumbs up button, give us a like. Goes a long way. We appreciate that too. You can also sponsor the show anytime you like. You can buy us some caffeine. We'd love you to go to buymeacoffee.com/refroom and pony up for a coffee for us. You see, I have to drink this because you're not buying coffee for us, so I have to drink the. That's my caffeine. All right, Terry said something here before we go.
The ice is.
And the ice is almost up to the top of the dasher in Edison. Yeah. Is it already? Like, I was there a couple times this year, and I hadn't been there. So I thought the ice, I'm going to give them a little credit. I thought the ice was pretty okay. It was pretty okay.
I was there at the beginning of the year. I've been there. I didn't realize it was high.
It's been probably 2 months since I've been there. Not in a rush to get back, but it's been about 2 months. But anyway... wasn't bad. I mean, it wasn't. Locker room's still bad, but the ice wasn't that bad. All right. Well, that's about it. So, Brad likes that place so much he named his dog after Addison. So
let's not.
Go figure.
Don't do this. All right. We'll let you go on that point. All right.
We will see you guys in 2 weeks. We'll see you 2 weeks from Monday. I am Scott Smokin Silz, along with my man, Bad Brad Baumruck.
Oh, my Lord. All right. Have a good week. Well, 2 weeks.
Yep. All right, everybody. Hopefully we'll see you at the election. Come on out,
I'll be there.
Use your vote. We got some good people running, and they need votes. So, get in there and do it. Let's see. Last couple comments. You'll never catch me at Addison unless I'm getting double pay. All right. Well, good luck with that. Let me know how that works out for you. See ya.
We're not going to see you at Addison.
See you in Addison. All right. Peace out, everybody. That's going to do it. This is the Ref Room, and we'll be back